What's up, everybody? This is Hoodie. How are you all doing? And we're back again with another YouTube video on the box TryHackMe's new CTA box, a robots. It just got released yesterday. It's a medium level box, and we just got it rooted. So I'll try my best to get the things through your head because few of the things here were also new to me, and I was also doing them for the first time. So don't mind me if I explain something wrong, just correct me in the comments. So let's just start with the box. I'll take the IP. Let's connect to the TryHackMe VPN first. And let's go ahead and start with our basic nmap scan. I'll save the output in nmap.scan, tech-d4, and we can use min rate icon type 4000. And let's see what do we have. Straight ahead, we got port 80 open. Let's check what we got there. Dash I just for the headers. So VC4034 forbidden. Let's go ahead and check if we can access port 9000. And we can. So it's 200. Okay. So we got our nmap back. Let's see what's there. The SSH and the Apache with two versions. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a different versions, but it's Apache. And we got robots.txt on port 82. Let's go ahead and check that. But let's first head and add the robots.thm to our Etsy host. There we go. Let's just change the IP. There we have it. And let's see if it added successfully. We got it. And let's go ahead and open up a incognito tab and do here robots.txt. So we got three entries here. Let's go ahead and check them one by one. What are these? Okay, it's again forbidden. Let's go ahead and check the second one and see if we get a hit. No. And let's go ahead and check the third one. What's there? And looks like we do have our page recruitment campaign. Register here and log in, and admin monitors new users. So probably hinting towards an XSS vulnerability. So let's just go ahead and try to register a user. And it says right here, your initial password will be MD5 sum of the username plus the date and the month of the date of birth. Okay, so let's just go ahead and use the test username, and or let's just do hoodie and do 11.11.11.11 and submit the query. And now we can just log in with the hoodie, and we know the password is echo username and our date and the month. There we have it, and the MD5 sum of it. So by default, it adds the dash here. We can just remove it using cut or awk command, whatever you want to choose. But one thing is, by default, echo adds a new line character to it. So that's why our MD5 sum would be incorrect. We need to do the dash n, so it removes the new line character. And this is the correct MD5 sum for it. And we can just copy it. It's not a custom, it's not an inbuilt command. I use an alias called this. So it'll just copy directly into my clipboard. And we can now submit the query. Okay. It didn't turn out to be true. Okay, let's try again maybe. No, you're not ready to log me in, bro. What's the issue? Oh, we are copying an extra space maybe. There we go. So now we can log in and we see admin last login, this, and nothing else. Interesting. So there is something called server info, and it's just the output for the PHP info. And we see the PHP version. We see it's a Linux Docker container, Docker host, and a couple of other stuff, but nothing super informational, you know? Okay, let's go ahead and take this and try to also brute force what other things could be on the website. There we go, pause, and we can use checklist, discovery, web content, directory, 2.3 medium.txt. We're going to use PHP extension and with 100 threads. So till it's running, let's go ahead and now we have we know there is an admin user on the box on the website, right? So what we can do is we can try to brute force the admin user's password because we know the password is in the format of the username plus date and the month of the DOB. So we can just generate a custom word list. That's what I did the first time when I was doing the box. So we can generate a minimum and maximum four like character length word list ranging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the numbers, and we can just save it in digits.txt. So there we go. That many lines of word list. Now we can do digits.txt and pipe it into awk and print admin in front of all the numbers. And there we have it. So we can save it into path.txt. And now we can do while read line, do echo, and uh, how do we say it? Sorry, do cat path.txt echo and no, I'm doing something wrong. While read uh fs do cat path.txt echo. I forget the command of it. Hold up. Let's take help from the guru. While read line from file path.txt. Okay, wow. Let me do it here. While read line from path.txt in bash. I forget the syntax of it. While ifs read line do echo. Okay, so we were almost right, but not correct, right? And we can do echo and line md5 sum, right? And we can cut the dash part. There we go. So this way we can generate the word list and try to brute force the password for the admin user, right? But we were not able to do it because maybe the admin user changed the default password to something else, right? That might be the case. Okay, so next thing that came to mind was if we go back, you see this little knot here, and admin monitors new users. So what if we register a user with a username having an XSS payload? Will it trigger, right? So we can try that. So that's what I did, and we successfully got XSS. But wait, okay, let's go ahead and check this config.php first. If we can access that config.php, we can, but it's returning an empty web page. We also got admin.php. Let's go ahead and check what's there. So we are not authorized. So what could be the next hint here, right? So we got a PHP session ID. So what we can do is try to steal the PHP session ID for the admin user, right? But before that, let's verify if we have an XSS, right? So I'm gonna use this payload. Hold up, I'll show you guys. This is the payload I'm using here. Just image tag with the source pointing back to my IP and slash user, just random endpoint. And let's see if it reaches back to us, right? Submit the query. There we go. We got a request to slash user. So it is reaching out, right? So what else next we can do is make a request to you know, owner IP with the document.cookie, right? So let's try doing that. Register here. Uh, we can do image source again this, but this time we're gonna do, why can't I see it? Okay, we're gonna do cookie is equal to plus document.cookie. There we have it. So we're gonna use this and see if we get a cookie for the admin user. We're gonna use 8888 now, and let's try to submit this and see what do we have. So we see we were not able to get the cookie of the user for some reason, right? It was not able to grab the cookie using document.cookie. So now what can we do here? So if you remember correctly, there was a okay, let's log in. Okay, let me show you. Login.php. We now hoodie and what was the password hash? Uh, this was it, I guess. There we go. So hoodie last login this and the admin last logged in on this time. So we see admin is not logging in again and again. It's just the last login. And if we go to the server info page, we can grab for HTTP cookie. So we're gonna make a request to this endpoint and grab the cookie, admin's cookie from here, right? So that's what we're gonna do here. So let's go ahead and write our uh, JavaScript code payload. Basically, we can stop the fuzzing and we can go ahead and type in getCookie.js. We're gonna use script, then fetching this endpoint right here. Let me copy that again. There we have it. And then response is equal to response.text. There we have it. And then send the data again using fetch. So it will send the data to our IP, our box on 167 on port 9999, and cookie is equal to, we can base64 encode the whole, it will it will give the response, like it will give us the whole fucking, I'm sorry for the language, whole fucking, I'm again sorry for the language, the whole document of it, the whole .php file. So let's just base64 encode the data, and that's it. That's all we gotta do. We can save it, copy the getCookie.js, and wait for it to come to us after we register with this payload. We can do anything. There you go. Oh wow. Why the heck did it log this in? Okay, let's see if we have it. The cookie should not change for the admin user because we see right here it's just the one login. And let's wait. It can take up to a minute for us to, because the page is huge. So let's wait for a minute and then see. Or we can just do it again on some different port. Let's do on um, port 7777 and let's change it here. 7777. Submit it and let's see where it arrives first. Who are you voting for? Port 9999 or 7777? It was a really cool box, and if you remember for PHP info, it's a Docker container, so we'll probably land into Docker box on our initial foothold, right? So we gotta escape Docker or find a way to get out of Docker container. And let's see. There we go. We got on both of them at the same time. Let's just take from here. And it's a very long file, my guy. Okay, so I'm gonna use the team up magic if it allows me. Okay, wow, it's not working as correctly. Okay, there we go. We can decode it using CyberChef or even from the command lines. Let's just use CyberChef. There we go. From base64, and here we have it. And we can just press Ctrl F, grab for HTTP cookie, hit find, and there we go. So here we have the admin cookie. Here we have the admin PHP session ID. Now we can log in as admin, login, uh, admin. Oh, we don't need to do that. We can just change the cookie here. What am I doing? What are you doing, Hoodie? stupid ass index.php, and we can try to log in again. Did the cookie just went off? I don't know what's weird with this web apps doing this over and over again with me. PHP session ID. There we go. Add, hit the refresh. There we go. So now we are logged in as admin user, and again, hoodie. These are the payloads we used for the first time. Image source, right? Remember? And that's all. But remember, there was an admin.php page that we couldn't access earlier. Let's try to access that again. So now we can access that. Let's close this, and there we go. Let's refresh the page. I don't know why it's up a little above. So what's there? It's asking us for a URL. So let's try to give it a URL on our box, right? Let's try to do that and just make a file test.txt, and let's see if it takes that. 10.21.69167 test.txt. So let's submit the query and see what it does. Oh, it showed us the output for the file. There we go. It get the 200 OK. So this is probably RFI here. If we can include the arbitrary files on the web server, and we can test if we can include a PHP file here, you know? Let's see, PHP echo worked again, and see if it run this time again, evaluating the PHP code. 10.21.69167 test.php, and let's see if we see work again. There we go. So it's evaluating PHP, it's executing PHP. That's pretty much simple. From here we can just open revshells.com and type in the IP 10.21.69167, or we can upload a RCE payload. But let's just go ahead and get the shell using PHP pentest monkey. We need the bash. Copy this, save it in a file, wrap.php. There we have it. Let's start the server, netcal listener basically, 1337. And we can just do wrap.php and see if we get a shell back. There we have it. So that was the initial access, how we got on the box. And let's just stabilize our shell. Script qc bin bash dev null control z fix. And now we can export term is equal to xterm. And if we just do lsla, we see we are inside a Docker environment, right? So we can run deepc.sh or a couple of other stuff to figure out how to get out of the Docker container, but let's just enumerate manually for now and see where we have, what do we have. We can go to harm, to self, and see what do we have. If we do ls-la and you check correctly, the size of config.php is 19. It's not empty now. So let's just try to see what's there. So there we go. So we see the database credentials for robots user, and it's just like database credentials. So we can either write a PHP custom script to interact with it locally, or we can set up a port forwarding using Chisel and interact with it from our machine, because I don't think it's inside the Docker container we have the MySQL command. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me just copy the password for it. So let's go to temp. Let's transfer Chisel over here, 167.8,000 tools, Chisel, and save it into Chisel. There we have it. And on our end, we need to start the Chisel server port 1337. We're gonna use SOX 5 just in case, and we're gonna set up a reverse proxy. There we go. Now we can connect to our Chisel server using Chisel client, and our IP 67167.1337 R and SOX, because we're using SOX proxy. But before doing that, Let's just press Control C. Oh, my bad. It's port 69, not 67. There we go. It's connected. But before doing this, let's Control C this. We can use get ent command, get entries, host, right? And we can check the DB because in the config.php you see the server name is DB. So let's see which IP is that. So it's 172.18.02, right? We need to connect to this for the MySQL, and now we can do that using proxy chains and MySQL. We know the username is robots. We need to enter the password, and the host is this. The password we just copied above, paste it there, and we are in the MariaDB, right? So we can interact now. We can check which databases are available to us, and let's just use the web one and see which tables are there. Let's dump the users table and see what do we have. Select everything from users. There we go. So these are the payloads we used, right? And the admin user, this is the admin hash. This is the admin password, sorry. And I even tried to crack it, but we couldn't because it's not the default format, right? And this is the hoodie user. But wait, do you see a difference here? This was not the hash we used while logging into the hoodie. It started from something like 1. This is the original hash. So if we go here, let's make another terminal, echo and MD5 sum. There we go. So it's MD5 sum of the MD5 sum. That's how, you know, MD5 username. That's how the passwords are stored in the database, right? So, but there's another user, rgiskard, whatever, however that spelling or whatever, however you spell that, I have no idea. So this is its hash, and we can try to crack it using hashcat. Hashcat. Let's use the mask mode for feasibility, and we're gonna use the mode 2600. Here's the hash rgiskard question mark d question mark d question mark d because we need to like put the 4 numbers here. That's the format of the password. And okay, I already cracked it, so we can just do show. So this is the password that correct for this hash. And how did I know? We can search for hashcat wiki. Uh, there we go. So if we search for 2600, you see hashcat already has a mode for MD5 into MD5 password. So that's why we use this, and tag A3 the mask mode so that we could use these. So we can search for hashcat mask modes, mask attack. There we go. So there are different type of things like %d will sorry question mark d will enter all the numbers. So hashcat is super awesome, and we got the password for it. So we can log in into SSH, I guess. Using this, we can do Control C SSH rgiskard @robots.thm. Put the password here. Ah, my bad. Sorry. This password, the original password is the MD5 hash, right? MD5 sum. There we go. Cut. Or let's just do awk print $1. There we go. Now we can just copy it and try to log in using that. There we go. We are into rgiskard user. Uh, the like original password is the MD5 hash, obviously, right? So what else do we have? Nothing out of ordinary. We can go to home. Why am I giving, what the heck? Okay, so there is another user, dolivaw, who, however that spell, I have no idea why the usernames are super weird. So we can't log into that. Let's try to do sudo l and see what else can we run. Uh, hold up. There we go. So we can run user bin curl on the local host and asterisk as user dolivaw without any password. Okay, that's interesting. So if you know, we can use this in our advantage as curl will take multiple URLs as, as an input. So what we can do is sudo dash u dolivav, and we can specify user bin curl, hold up, and 127.0.1, and we can also specify another URL in the same command as like etc password. Let's just try to view etc password, and what we can do here is let's just do the silent thing, or dash k for no security. We can just remove that and see if we get the etc password. You see, so we got the etc password thing. We can grab the flag from here, dolly bob and user.txt, but I'm not going to do that because I need to submit the write-up for the box. So what we can do now, we can even write into the like SSH authorized key files. So what we're going to do is let's generate a new SSH key file, ed25519. It's just a type of SSH key. We're going to save it as dolivaw underscore RSA, no password. There we have it. And the pub. So the ed25519 is just super short. That's why I use that. We can set up a server here so we can transfer the file. So what we can do is now instead of file, we can do HTTP or IP 21.69167 and dolivaw rsa.pub. And tech O, why we use tech O? If you remember when we transferred Chisel onto our box, we didn't have wget on the inside the Docker container, so we did have curl. So with curl, tech O is used to save into a file, the output, right? So we can save into like ABC for this URL, and we're gonna use it again to save it into home dolivav ssh authorized key file, authorized keys. There we have it. And if we run that, you see failure writing to the destination for ABC for this one. And for the another URL, it will write the output of this file into our SSH authorized keys. So now we can log in into, you see 200, okay, it grabbed the file. So now we can just SSH dolivav into robust.phm. Oh, with our private key, dolivav RSA. Let's see what do we have. There we go. We are into dolivav, and here is our user.txt, and now we just need to get to root. And wow, we've done a lot. We have learned a lot, and that's an achievement. Clapping for us, guys. Let's do sudo l and see what do we have. So it's pretty straightforward from here. We can run Apache 2 with as sudo with no password. So let's just try to see GTFO bins, or we can even use ChatGPT for like getting a hint. But GTFO bins doesn't have anything for Apache 2, but it has something for Apache 2 CTL, and it's pretty much similar. So we can just copy this. So we can read a file. Uh, Let me copy this. Oh my god! I just need the second line, dude. Come on, give me that. There we go. So let's copy that, and instead of include L file, let's just put on etc shadow, right? Etc shadow, and try to run that. Oh, sorry. We just need to change Apache CTL to Apache 2 because that's the one we can run. And it will show up an error of Apache render is not defined. So we can also define that using -c. You can use ChatGPT to figure out this error. We can just do define uh, define, I can't spell define, Apache run dir to, let's just do temp and see if we can get the Apache render is not defined again. Okay, okay, my guy. Can we do capital C? There we go. Etc shadow invalid command, perhaps misspelled or defined by a module not included in the server configuration. Okay, but you see, this is the output of the Etsy shadow. Similar to that, let's just try to grab for another file. Maybe we can just grab for root.txt. Let's do that, and we should be able to get it. Or I just don't want to do that. But let's just grab something only root can grab. Etsy sudoers. Perhaps misspelled. Okay. How about let's just do root.txt. There we go. We could see the flag here, and that's how I grabbed the root flag. I don't know what's happening here. Misspelled or defined a module not included in the server configuration. Something syntax error. Maybe the like syntax in that sudoers file is breaking it. But the root.txt is a simple thing, just one liner. So it just gave us that. And yeah, that was the box, guys. I really hope you learned something new. And you can always ping me on Discord or text me on any of the social media platform you like. And see you till next time. Take care.